Welcome to Sequential Geek. This is the 48th part of Comic Book Haul, a 69, which happens to be an unboxing. So let's get on with the haul, shall we? All right, in my recent hauls, I've shown off issues number 1 and 3 of this 4-issue limited series. All right, so first up, IDW's Pestilence, issue number Dose. It's a 4-issue limited series in 2014. James O'Barr contributed to doing covers for 4 IDW Crow stories. One of them, James O'Barr wrote the 3-issue Skinning the Wolves during the World War II Holocaust. So that was the last time James O'Barr wrote a Crow story that's published, at least. And then before that, it was the original Crow story. But yeah, you had 2012, Death and Rebirth, 2013, Skinning the Wolves, and then this other short story, Curare, and then 2014, James O'Barr's A covers for this Pestilence story, each 4 issues, was the last time you're going to find James O'Barr working on a published Crow book. In 2017, there is a hardcover that reprinted the Crow stories, but I mean, that might have had like maybe some extra sketches. First book in the haul, The Crow Pestilence, issue number 4. Nice. I think this ran for a total of 3 issues for the benefit of the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Peregrine. Yeah, there's a wraparound cover to this. Hold on. Comic Shop News, issue 1521. Jack Kirby Fantastic Four cover. This is my second copy, or actually third. Comic Shop News, issue 1399. The Terry Dodson Vampirella cover. Oh yeah. Comic Shop News by Cliff Biggers, published weekly since 1987. Issue 3 of 3 by James O'Barr and Joseph Michael Linsner. Elf Quest story kicking it off. Whole anthology. The Choke, issue number 2 out of 1993 of a total of 5 issues. Anubis Press. More James Ga+e goodness. And we have the Cybernetic Liberation Front. It's out of 1992, the James Ga+e cover, also out of Anubis Press. Godhead, issue number 2 out of Anubis Press, the James Ga+e cover, issue 2 of 3. I think this is part of that series of like cyberpunk stories James Ga+e was working on. March 93. Next up, Spawn, issue 48. I did not order this. They threw this in. I hope the actual order is here. Everett Hartso's property here, Razor, from London Night Studios. This is issue number 2. February 1992. James Ga+e did the cover only. Pretty sick. So it looks like, yeah, it's a nice copy of issue 7. I've got newsstands of the first, 11? That's when I think Frank Miller worked on issue 11, when the guest creators were taking part, kicking off Spawn. But the issue 7 that I have is all beat up. And I just like the cover for issue 8. And whenever I can find it in newsstand, a nice copy for under $10 online, I usually pull the trigger. And yeah, the spine in this one. The spine for this one is issue number 7. It's pretty fucking slick. Nice newsstand issue 8. Another nice newsstand issue 24. It's just a random Spawn newsstand cover buy, just because I like the cover. It was part of the seller's sale, and I figured throw it in with the shipping. Ultimates 12. You know, I've always mentioned this as part of that new Marvel era. There's a couple of issues, I'll just say, in the first couple volumes that are really difficult to find in newsstand. So as soon as I find those babies, I'll have my set of newsstands completed. I'm looking forward to completing this run of Ultimates comics that I have in Newsstand. Definitely recommend for anyone returning to comics or new, check out the first two volumes by Mark Millar and Brian Hitch of the Ultimates. So you had a really low print run ratio of newsstands to direct. So this newsstand printing here, it is rare. I think it was like 5% newsstand around the year 2000. This came out in 2003, so it was reaching like 2.5% of the print run was newsstand by 2005. And the first two volumes of the Ultimates by Mark Millar and Brian Hitch, this modernization of the Marvel properties, bringing them into the 21st century. A lot of that is just needed today to return to. So it's just one of the aspects of this series that I've always found for me to be really collectible, important. This is like one of the last times comics was based on comics, and the comics influenced the entertainment, like the movies and shows, as opposed to now it's the opposite. So I'm just working on completing that run of newsstand copies of the first two volumes of the Ultimates. One of my favorite modern comic book runs. Next up, watch, it's empty. Cool. I think this is out of 1992. Comic Shop News, issue 235. Really rare comic book here. So, you know, the issue Dead World, issue 10, when Caliber Comics took over that title, that horror anthology, Dead World from Arrow Comics. On the back of issue 10 of Dead World, that horror anthology, you've got a full page preview of The Crow. And then you've got January, Caliber Comics presents that first appearance of The Crow in comics. And then you have the Crow 4-issue limited series from Caliber. And then you have Tundra Publishing. They published a 3-issue series of The Crow, the first 2 issues of which reprinted Caliber Comics' first 2 issues of their 4-issue Crow series, that first Crow series by James O'Barr. The second issue of Tundra Press, The Crow, reprinted the last 2 issues of that first Crow limited series from Caliber Comics. So then the third issue of Tundra Press's The Crow, the last one, is the 5th chapter of Caliber Comics' The Crow, the final chapter. And the promo for it, for the Tundra Publishing reprints of Caliber Comics' The Crow, that first issue by Tundra is promoted right here in this Comic Shop News, issue 235. All right, next. And yet another copy of Peter Milligan and Michael Allred's X-Force, issue 116, first appearance of Dupe, You Go Girl, The Anarchist, Zeitgeist. The rest of these people die, if not in this issue, the next. Gin Genie, she dies. I think she has to consume alcohol for her powers to work. Newsstand copy, the first comic that dropped the Comics Code Authority certification that Marvel published in 2001, I think this is. Yeah, one of the stories that got me back into reading comics, part of that new Marvel era. It's a modern take on being a superpowered person. This is like not the anti-hero, I would call this the anti-superhero comic. Doom Patrol, issue number 8 out of 2017, November cover date. The James Ga+e cover. Sweet. Yeah, I don't really find these online all that often, so I got a copy here for under $10. Decided to grab it. I mean, after shipping, it's more like 12, but I don't know Doom Patrol much, gotta say. Can't say I'm much of a DC fan, but look at this dude. Like a punk rock, something that you would think would be like, oh, a little kitty. But then this person's dressed all like punk rock. Like, no. I love that contradiction. What do we got next? Let's find out. Oh, nice. Out of June 2001. This is the James Ga+e cover for Vesper. I'm not sure how many issues this ran for, but I know that James Ga+e did the covers for the first 2 issues. I think this is a story about a police officer that turns outlaw. This woman right here. Yeah, both covers are sick. It's a wraparound cover. That's June 2001. John LaFleur and Hannibal King wrote this story. Hannibal King did the art as well for the interiors. Wow, I was like expecting this to be black and white. Totally all right. This is totally okay. Cool. XLVIII Comics. Oh, there's one more in the packaging that was in between these. All right, the final part. Here's issue 2 that I showed earlier, and the final issue, issue 4 from 2014's The Crow Pestilence. James Ga+e covers. Pretty fucking dope. Dark Angel, issue number 20. Kia Asamiya. The A cover. I know James Ga+e did just the cover for this, but let's take a look inside anyway. Looks like 1994. Two copies. Doesn't feel like there's anything here. All right, nice. Joseph Michael Linsner, Independent Voices. So this is his cover for issue 2. Here's the 3rd issue, and here's issue number 2. 3 issues total. It's the last 2 issues of these 3 independent voice issue comics that I'm interested in getting, because this fucking badass, cool looking James LeBar Linsner cover here, but there's also this. Oh yeah! Look at that. Oh yeah! This is first printing 2001, August. So 2001. What next? And then. I think I know what this is. James LeBar's Original Sins. So this James LeBar Original Sins, type of cyberpunk looking artwork. I think it's related to these stories here. Part of that cyberpunk storyline that James LeBar was going to have interconnect. Not sure, but James LeBar Original Sins. December 1999 cover date. Thick backing board here. Awesome condition. Avalon Communications, Quebec. Two more to go. I know know what this one is. I just made a reference to this earlier. Yeah, you can get deals on these online. This hardcover reprint, The Crow Special Edition, James O'Barr. This is so fucking nice. I'm glad I got this now. Fuck yeah. Nice black hardcover. Right, so it's an advertisement that's on the back of Dead World 10, December 88. That's like a full page, the back page image of the Crow, and that's your first image of the Crow. Caliber Comics presents. That's January 1989. Trying to find that Dead World 10 back issue cover, but some awesome Crow images, air pin-ups and such. I highly recommend James O'Barr interviews whenever you can spare 10-20 minutes online on YouTube. Check out some interviews with James O'Barr. Real fucking great, insightful stuff. Just him talking about trying to be more original, non-commercialized, basing his anatomy off of more real-life images. You can see the punk rock influence, you know. Peter Murphy's likeness is who he used to base the Crow off of. And then just a lot of the physicality of the Crow. It's based off of Iggy Pop. More often than not. So yeah, and then you got Caliber Press, that anthology. Caliber Presents in January 89. That's your first Crow story, and then the 4-issue Caliber Press limited series is kicked off in February 1989. So that was 4 issues. Tundra Press printed the 5th issue when they reprinted The Crow. The 3 issues that comprise Tundra Press's printing of The Crow. The 3rd issue is the final chapter, the conclusion. Caliber Press's first 4 issues of The Crow are part of Tundra Press's first 2/3 of that Crow limited series. So lovely. The flashback sequences, James O'Barr explained he had used mainly like a watercolor ink wash to kind of give you a different imagery, sense of space, versus the present day Rampage. This guy, so it was asked if there would be Joy Division references and songs in the new Crow movie, and James O'Barr confirmed that there would be. But I love the smell of those new pages. All right, so this The Crow Special Edition, it includes 30 pages of additional artwork, including the closing segment, Sparkle Horse, and the touching scene, The August Noel, an introduction by James O'Barr, and lost sequences restored using the artist's original technique. One more to go. Out of España. That's right, you guessed it. The Crow in Espanol. Issue 1, issue 2, issue 3, and issue 4. Until next time, peace. Up. One moment. Turns out there's one more package. Oh, yeah. So, there's this one seller. Holy shit, how the fuck do I describe this seller? Total fucktard, retard, mental douchebag. To make a long story short, this seller had this item up on eBay and was like, oh yeah, I'll sell it to you, because the auction had expired. And I was like, all right, great. When? Oh no, in a couple of days. 2 days go by, 3 days go by, 4 days go by, nothing. Messaged the guy by the fourth day. So now he's just messaging me back and forth for a matter of like weeks, and then tells me that he's not a regular. He's not a seller. He's just a regular guy with the family. You look at this guy's website. He's got like all these things signed, all these autographed, all these exclusives, on and on and on. He's been working selling on eBay for 25 years. Complete lies, total head game. Says he wants me to communicate on Instagram. So I go on Instagram. Oh, well, I had to help do this with my kids over this weekend and blah, 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 wear my kids on my sleeve next weekend. And 2 weeks go by. And at this point, I just say to the guy, this is bullshit. I have been saying to you specifically, I am willing to give you my cash. How can I give you my cash? Please let me know how I can send you my money. I will pay for the shipping. When, where, I want to give you my money for a matter of weeks. And the moment I said one word, I said, this is bullshit. Like typical American culture. Your behavior is offensive. You're swearing at me. Wah, wah, wah. So now he blocked me on eBay, and he posted the item after not posting it on eBay for a while. And then the second I said it was bullshit and that it's poor business to lead somebody on for a matter of weeks, then immediately after I said that, the seller posted this online, and I had to have a friend buy it and send it to me. There you go. Lady Death. There was another Lady Death cover that was by James O'Barr, and I have shown that off. Brian Pulido, writer, creator of Lady Death. And this is just to certify that the signature is legit. And in this case, it's 83 out of 100, James O'Barr signature. Yeah, it's just total ridiculousness. The back and forth for weeks of me being flexible, being nice. Oh yeah, you got a family, you got this, you got these commitments. The guy was just lying through his teeth. I have no idea. I find that sellers get away with too much, looking for too many reasons to not cooperate instead of making an effort to listen to someone when a buyer says, I specifically said, I want to give you my cash. How can I give you my cash? PayPal, Venmo, whatever. How? How can I give you my cash? Zelle, PayPal. I kept asking that. And it's just, if you don't ask in the right way, people today have to look for reasons to be entitled, to block people that want to give them money. It's not just former Marvel and DC. It's across the board Americana ridiculousness. So I had to have a friend buy this Lady Death enchantments and then mail it to me, because eBay lets sellers get away with too much. I can't stand eBay, really. If you try and file complaints or set up concerns, no one will follow up with you, and you're going to spend more time repeating your name and your address and then calling back for an update, and people have no information that you called to begin with. You really have no voice. as a buyer today. So, Lady Death Enchantments. This is a new James O'Barr cover that came out during the Tucson Comic-Con. I showed off the What If Boba Fett Fought Predator bootleg comic that's from that same Comic-Con in Tucson from September 2023. And James O'Barr had 2 Lady Death comic books. The other one also was bought from that seller and is going to be on its way. But at this point, I think I'm going to wait till I finish my move. The movers arrived. They showed up. They picked up all my comics, all my boxes, all my goods, all my wares. It's all gone. I just have these comics in this haul that I've shown today. And that's it. The movers got it all now. And I got this other Lady Death from the Tucson Comic-Con. Lady Death Enchantments. James O'Barr exclusive cover coming my way. In addition to this other James O'Barr Lady Death Enchantments cover that he did, 2 for the Tucson Comic-Con last year. Pretty fucking sweet. And that was in 2019, that other Lady Death cover that James O'Barr had done the variant for. That was Lady Death All Hallows Eve, the Dark Forest edition by James O'Barr in 2019. And so this Lady Death is Lady Death Enchantments from 2023 by James O'Barr. And there is another variant that James O'Barr did for this same comic book that I will be showing in the near future. So we got 2 Lady Death Enchantments covers from the Tucson 2023 Comic-Con. This one and the other James O'Barr Lady Death Enchantments cover that's also coming my way. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for swinging by. Until next time, much love, stay safe. Keep on collecting and keep on reading. Peace.